G'day legends, Riley from RD Auto Electrics and welcome back to the channel. Thanks again for joining us for another brand new series which we've titled Tech Talk. Now we were going to call it Tech Talk Tuesdays because it sounds cool, but I can't promise that all of these episodes are going to be released on a Tuesday, so Tech Talk it is. Now, it's common knowledge that no one likes rules, regulations and restrictions. We all hate them, right? But they're there for good reason and they need to be followed. So this episode, which is episode 1, is going to be dedicated to the new electrical safety standards that have been released and are now effective as of, off the top of my head, the 18th of November, so a couple of weeks ago now. Now, these regulations apply to all portable things with a 15 amp fixed mains power inlet. So this pretty much applies to all caravans and camper trailers and also canopy power systems as well if you do have a fixed 15 amp mains power inlet. So we're going to keep it short, sweet, easy to follow. The new Jayco Journey Outback that's behind us here, we've just completed a full lithium power system upgrade on in compliance with the new regulations. So we're going to jump in, show you what some of these new regulations are, and hopefully clear up any confusion and misconceptions around these new laws. Okay, so we'll address the biggest one first, which is battery location. Now, it's very simple. The battery isn't allowed to share any habitable space of the caravan. Now, a lot of people have been thinking or saying that this means that the batteries can't be fitted in the van, they have to go outside. This is not the case. Now, in this example, we've actually fitted the battery underneath the couch. Now, this requires for it not to share a habitable area of the caravan, that these lids on top, which are factory lids, be sealed and fixed down, which is the last part of this installation. So you can see we've sealed the holes here. We've put a foam seal around the edge of the lids. And now the last step, once we've showed the customer through the system at pickup, is to actually secure these lids down. So that is a sealed compartment and it doesn't share any habitable area of the caravan. Now, you could also install it in locations such as the tunnel boot, because once again, that's outside of the habitable area. And even under a bed is possible if the battery is in a sealed enclosure with an external vent, because once again, that wouldn't be sharing a habitable area. So this is one example of still being able to fit the batteries in the van while still complying with the new safety standards. Now, another part of the standard, which we just mentioned, is the external vent. Now, this can either be done through the floor or the sidewall. It pretty much just means that there has to be somewhere for gas, vapor, any sort of issue to be admitted out of the van rather than into the habitable area. So in this instance, we've fitted a floor vent. Now, the regulation states 20 mil minimum. We've doubled that and gone with a 40 mil vent. Now, we've also put a serviceable filter in the vent. So this means that when we conduct your free 12-month service on your power system that we offer with all power systems that we supply and install, we can actually service that filter. So we can remove it and either clean or replace it depending on how heavily the filter's been used, how much dust you've been going through, and condition of the filter. But we've put that in there to stop any dust coming into the van, but are still allowing any gas or vapor to be emitted through that vent if need be. You'll also see a couple of new stickers fitted to the top of the access hatch. This is just to confirm that there's multiple power sources and inputs located in here that need to be isolated prior to being worked on, and also that these lids need to stay secured down to be in compliance with the new regulation. It also has our contact details on there for all servicing as well. So the second one to consider is regarding solar panels. So what the regulation states is that you need to have a fusible link or circuit breaker in between your solar panels or panel voltage and your regulator, and also between your regulator and your batteries. But what it also states is when running 4 or more panels in parallel, each panel must also individually be fused. So what does this mean? Well, simply what it would mean is if we were running 4 190 watt roof mounted solar panels, we would have each of those solar panels fused individually, then ran down to a main panel voltage fusible link or circuit breaker, and then into our regulator. Then out from our regulator to a second fusible link or circuit breaker, and then out to our battery system. So fairly straightforward, easy to understand change, and it is a good change because what it means is if you do have one panel that faults, it won't take out your whole array. It'll be an isolated panel incident, and the rest of your array will continue working at full capacity. So they're pretty much the two major changes and the two things that we wanted to discuss, which there's been a little bit of confusion about. The regulations are quite long and extensive, about that thick. So if you do have any other questions, please let us know. But they're the two big ones, and we hope that sort of helped clear a few things up. We're going to keep going with this install now and get it finished off, run some more testing as we always do, and give the customer a call and tell him it's ready for pickup. One other really important thing to remember is this new regulation standard applies to all power systems, whether they're fitted from factory or aftermarket, like what we do here. But keep in mind, this only applies to systems that are fitted on or after the regulation start date, which was the 18th of November 2023. So any caravans built prior to that date or any power systems fitted prior to that date, they don't need to be changed or altered. It's only moving forward after that date these new regulations come into effect, and all systems fitted need to meet those regulations. Well, that wraps up episode 1 of our Tech Talk series. Guys, thanks again for joining us and for supporting the channel. We really hope this video has helped explain things in a simple, easy to understand manner. If you do have any further questions around these new standards, please get in contact with us and we'll be happy to help out where we can. For now, thanks again, and we'll catch you on the next episode.